So as of now, I've titled this video something like Gun Deaths versus Doctor Deaths. I may change that title, but what I want to point out right off the bat is, of course, the idea that guns, of course, don't kill people. Hopefully doctors don't kill people either, but there certainly seem to be, at least indirectly, involved with a whole lot of hurt and death of people, of which I am a victim of one. So that's why this video is really important to me, in pointing out the stats here. Now, these stats come from courtesy of naturalnews.com. I don't know how accurate they are, but the fellow's really good at documenting things, and I respect a great deal of his information. And I tend to believe that these stats are correct just based on my own personal experience. There's a couple things I want to point out right off the bat regarding guns. I've been in the trenches with government. Now, I pay taxes, I have a driver's license, Social Security, all that stuff. I'm a full-blown slave, quote, happy slave. But I used to go up against the government quite heavily, and what I discovered the hard way, along with other people that I associated with, was that due process is gone in this country. People don't know how bad things really are right now. They're extremely bad. The example I like to use is to tell people to just get a simple traffic ticket and try to exercise due process rights. The traffic ticket scenario alone is so riddled with due process violations that it's insane. The list is long, really long, and it's such a simple thing for anyone to do to prove to themselves how far gone this country is. I won't even go into the idea that it's just a form of legalized extortion. Now, I've watched other people go up against the government in other endeavors too, and through about 12 years worth of that, which was quite a few years ago now for me, I haven't been involved in that stuff for probably a solid 5, 6, 7 years. But what we discovered was really amazing at how bad things are. I don't want to go into detail right now, other than to emphasize and stress the fact that due process, and for the most part, the Bill of Rights in this country is largely gone. So guns, being part of the Second Amendment there, is what affords people the ability to speak up against guns. And I think that's what a lot of anti-gun people don't understand. The semi-automatic automatic argument is completely irrelevant to this. The reason why we have the Second Amendment is to protect ourselves from the government. This goes back to my due process violations. The whole reason why that Second Amendment is in place is to basically afford every other right that there is. Now, the problem is, and this is what I discovered and the people I associate with discovered, is the fact that we do not have rights in this country anymore at all. We have mere privileges, and what that means is mere government-granted privileges. And this is the system we've all been sort of involuntarily co-opted under. It's been something of a coup, practically. You could literally define it as that once you understand how it works. And this ties into the 14th Amendment in citizenship and how when you become a U.S. citizen, you immediately forfeit pretty much all of your rights right there. And at that point in time, you agree to accept government-granted privileges, along with lots of benefits, which is why people opt into this system. The point being that guns are absolutely crucial. Now, back to the doctors issue here, I've been a victim of doctors to a severe degree. Back in 2005, I was seriously injured by doctors taking a simple antibiotic. No one explained to me, and not enough warning was given about the dangers of this antibiotic. It was a fluoroquinolone. People would know it as under the brand names such as Cipro and or Levaquin. These are extremely dangerous drugs. Now, after what I dealt with happened to me, that's sort of a topic for another video. To make a long story short, it put me in severe chronic pain as well as messed me up mentally really bad. Afterwards, around 2009 or so, the FDA began coming out with more and more warnings about this class of antibiotics, saying, yes, these antibiotics are screwing up people's lives severely. You can search Floxed for actual video of what people are going through, including a live example of symptoms that were experienced by someone who's since passed on. If you search the word Floxed, Floxed, doctors are engaged in a very greedy industry. I know doctors will love to fight this, but it's 100% true. The pharmaceutical industry is a shareholder-held industry. It is about greed first and foremost. Am I completely against doctors? No. Doctors are great for trauma care. If I'm ever in a car accident, I want the best doctors available. Would I trust them with my health? Absolutely not. They more than proved to me that they're completely incompetent in this area, and that whole side of the industry has turned into nothing but a greed machine. And the doctors who refuse to acknowledge this and own up to it and admit to it or recognize it are, in my opinion, borderline sociopaths. There's a lot people do not understand about how damn important it is that we have full gun rights at all times. Are these school shootings and other events like at the club down in Florida tragic? Of course they are. But people don't seem to get it in their heads that this is caused by people. Again, people are responsible for this. If guns were banned, there are other weapons that would be used instead to lash out in whatever ways people need to. There's another whole nother side topic relating to the use of SSRIs, antidepressants, and how those have caused countless side effect mental reactions, making people go nuts and use guns to hurt people. I could go on and on. Guns are vital. With guns, the anti-gun people can speak up against guns. Guns enable all of our rights, what little rights we have left. Now, as another side tangent real quick, have you ever wondered why guns require a permit? Handguns? What's with the permit? Permit is short for permission. That's an example of what I was talking about earlier regarding U.S. citizenship amounting to slavery whereby your rights are gone. If you have rights, folks, you certainly do not need to ask the government for permission to own a gun. Think about it. Thanks for watching. More videos to come.